Let's see. Hi, everybody. Hello. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Trying not to block the. Do people still use the wave button? Like monkey you? Yeah, I do go. Hi, everyone. Come on in, say hello. Come on in, say hello. Come on in, say hello. Shall I feel everybody? Come on in, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Can y'all believe February is over? Like this month started just like yesterday. It's something. But anyway, come on in, everyone. Next time before when you guys are coming, you already know Tuesdays and Thursdays. So invite somebody, tell someone to come in and join the live. Tuesdays, Thursdays at 9-ish is usually the goal. But but you know what? I am on the wrong one on Instagram. Let me hold on 1 second. Discard. I just realized I'm actually on the wrong place on Instagram. Because I just created, that's the problem. I just created, let's see. Let me see if I have the right one. Okay, yes. That's why you don't mess with technology. That's why you don't make a muffy technology there. So I just created, okay, now I'm on the right one. So if you saw me just now, that was me. Because I just created a personal Instagram page. So it is what it is. Hi, everybody. Come on in, say hello. Come on in, say hello. Let's see. I want to make sure that I am. Shall I feel a while? Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Bear with me. Okay, there we go. Hi, God bless, child. How are you? Hi, everybody. Hello, TikTok family, Facebook, and YouTube. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Can y'all believe? Hello, Elena Sanctuary. How are you? I love y'all. Hello. I love y'all. I know. I hope your weekend. Thank you. I hope your weekend was good. Can y'all believe? Hola. February is over. Like this month just started like yesterday. Abi, feel Benny. Oh, by the way, do we have a president elect in Nigeria yet? Because it looks like it's gonna take them like 200 years to tally these election results conveniently, right? Technical gonna keep up, but what's going on back home? Not yet. Okay. We'll see. But anyway, hi everyone. This is Attorney. The tension is real. If those of us are, Tinubu is leading for real. Is that what you want or what's happening? Am I Daruma Leo? Because don't start none. There won't be none. How do you know Tinubu is leading? Because I've been trying to go on CNN and all that, but I haven't had anything. But anyway, listen. That's what's happening. Okay. Well. Okay. Yo, he's been declared the winner? When? Oh. Hold on, people. Tony Martin followed. Well, whenever I could. can be on my son. Oh, okay. Oh, just now. Okay. Well, okay. Yeah, me calling. If you're, let me just say hello, Miss Kiwa. To make a zero, like file asylum. Dele. Ah, that's what I'm saying. But anyway, good evening, everyone. This is Attorney Abisola Adebola Olale Amobabasam, immigration attorney based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. Um, Amen. Come on in. Thank you for joining me every Tuesday, every Thursday. Well, if I'm not going to be on, I usually y'all know, but most of the time Tuesdays. Anyway, I digress. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 p.m. Central Time. So if you have an immigration case that you need to discuss with us, you can contact us. Yay, it's Tuesday. Yay. And stuff. Then I mean, I like that you have a different username. So I created a personal account on Instagram. Thank you, Illinois Sanctuary. If you have not, because I if you haven't started following me, please do. That's my personal, because I have people who work for me. Well, I like to say I have people who work with me, because yeah, we're a team. So the social media platforms for the business, it's not just me. When people we get a kick out of it, especially on Instagram, when people send all kind of crazy stuff, including body parts. Lydia, my sister, was like, I'll be damned. Like, I'm telling you. So I thought, you know what? I needed a space outside of my team that I could actually control myself. The one thing I would say, however, is if you send me anything immigration related, I will not respond. It's my personal page. I'm just trying to build that up with talking about personal stuff. Thank you, Koshi. Talking about personal stuff and being able to, there's some things I cannot post on the business page. And yeah, like I'm in my personal life. Let's just say I'm a riot. She wild. She wild. This 44-year-old woman is something. But if you email or DM me anything immigration, someone did it yesterday, I was like, come on now, you got to respect boundaries. I will not, if I don't respond, or if we respond and let you know, you have to do a consultation on the business page. What do you think is going to be different on my personal page? But please follow me. It's @Abisola_CC_lawyer. That's on Instagram. So at @Abisola_CC lawyer. That's my username, my personal page on Instagram. So go ahead and send me a follow request, and I'll follow you right back. Let's share life as mothers, as dads, as immigrants in the foreign land. Where we love to go. I love summer, spring. I don't care for the heat during the summer. I just love the fact that I don't have to put on so many clothes. Oh, thank you, Sanctuary. Yeah, that's it on Instagram. So please follow me. I don't like many clothes. My kid, 12-year-old TJ, is his mother's child. The less clothes we have on, the better for us. That's the only thing I love about stuff. Other than that, because in the South, if you live in the South, we burn every summer. So let's not kid anybody. But the sleeveless, and I wear a lot of sleeveless. Yeah. So fruits that we love to cook, about my kids, just share stuff outside of immigration. So that's that. So that's at Abisola_CC lawyer. But anyway, if you need to contact us regarding immigration, however, 334-341-4475, visit our website at olalayalawfirm.com. I am gearing up for a very, very busy March. My kids have spring break. I have 2 immigration court hearings. It's gonna be something. So well, anyway, let's talk immigration. Please share this video. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, subscribe to the YouTube channel, all platforms at 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. And then you see this salt and pepper hair girl. Now, let's talk immigration. We get to questions and answers later on. I hope everyone has been keeping well, staying hopeful, hoping against hope, knowing that it shall be well with you and your case and your family. Let's talk about should you withdraw or refile or respond when you get annoyed? Do I withdraw? Do I refile my case? Do I respond? When is it appropriate for you to withdraw / or refile? And when is it appropriate for you to respond? So that's what we're going to talk about this evening. If you have a case where you receive a NOID and you're wondering, okay, should I not? How do I respond? I don't have additional evidence. What do I do? First of all, very first step you want to take is to consult with an immigration attorney. Consult with a lawyer. Let them tell you what is, obviously, you make the final decision, but hoping for good news soon. Amen. But, let them, you make the final decision, but hear from someone who is able to look at your case objectively, not subjectively, and be able to tell you what's in your best interest. So let's talk about whether or not to withdraw, whether or not to refile, whether or not to respond. When you get a notice of intent to deny, you can get a notice of intent to deny in any issue. It could be family cases, it could be employment based cases, it could even be humanitarian cases such as asylum. When it comes to refiling asylum, you have to make sure that you are eligible for refile, and sometimes you may have to withdraw if you have other viable options of becoming a legal permanent resident. Now, examples of times where, so notice of intent to deny, basically USCIS is telling, hello, Epic Movement, how are you? USCIS is basically telling you that, okay, we've reviewed your file, we've looked at all the evidence you sent us, but we're not satisfied with your evidence. And based on that, our decision right now, if we were to make a final decision, is to deny your case. However, we are giving you one more shot at it and making us or convincing us as to why we should not deny your case. So that's a notice of intent to deny in a nutshell. Okay, if I deny you, but just one last chance. It was of why we should not. That's a notice of intent to deny. Then the question is, when is it appropriate? And this is just suggestion. This is not relating to anyone's specific case. When is it appropriate to withdraw your application, or to withdraw and refile, or to respond? And I'm sure you're thinking, okay, why would you not respond to a notice of intent to deny? It depends on what those issues are and what kind of case you have. So let's take a marriage case, for example. You file a combo I-13485 adjustment status application, concurrent application, and for whatever reason, USCIS doubts your marriage. There is an issue with your divorce decree, and they send you a notice of intent to deny. When is that? What do you do in situations like that? If you get a notice of intent to deny that addresses issues that goes to the heart of the marriage, whether it's a good faith marriage or not, and you have additional evidence that you can submit and provide to USCIS to rebut the allegations of, lack of good faith, insufficient bona fide evidence, and you have that is a situation where it's advisable for you to respond. In responding to a notice of intent to deny, you have to address every single issue that USCIS points out and address them one after the other, to be very clear, to be very precise, and reference what evidence it is you're using to back up your response. So that is a case where you have enough evidence to rebut their allegations and send in with your notice of intent to deny. If you have a situation where it's just not bona fide evidence, USCIS comes back, and I wrote some things out, so let me so when to respond, you have sufficient evidence or you have new evidence to add. Where you in another situation, USCIS has made an allegation of marriage fraud. This happens if you've previously filed, or someone has previously filed an I-130 for you, because that happens in a marriage case, actually. Someone has filed an I-130 for you. You've been married before. You had a spouse. You divorced. You with a new spouse, and you have a new case, but you have been the beneficiary of a previous I-130. And USCIS made the conclusion that that marriage was a fraudulent marriage. And because of that, in your present case, 99.99% of the time, once they bring up your file and see their decision in your previous case, they will give you an opportunity to address that fraudulent marriage allegation in the new case. So it's a 204C bar, meaning if you're not able to overcome the fact that your previous marriage was not fraudulent, you will be permanently barred, meaning you would not ever get a green card. That is just the law. So that would be another example of a case where you have to respond to the notice of intent to deny. And here's the reasoning behind that. And let me just add this. If it's not in the previous case, if USCIS, and you've never been a beneficiary of previous case, this is the first filing, but in the new case, they are alleging that it's a fraudulent sham marriage, then you must respond. And here is the reasoning behind that. If you do not respond to the notice of intent to deny, it doesn't necessarily mean your argument is going to be successful. But not responding is almost like you admitting and accepting that the allegation and the conclusion they have made is actually factual. And so the only way you can rebut that is by responding to a notice of intent to deny. If it ends up being denied, then you have to repeal. Most of the time, it happens where people the USCIS has made that allegation in the previous case, and people just let it be. And then you get married to somebody else, and you start a family with them, and now you're starting a new case. And USCIS, people you won't with anything. Like they bring up cases that your grandfather's filed, if your name appeared on it. That's just the way it works. But you have a new case, then you refer back to your whole case and say, hey, by the way, we made this conclusion in that case. This is an opportunity to address that. You cannot ignore that, because basically if you ignore it, then you have accepted that you're not ever going to get a green card. You're never going to be able to adjust status while living in the United States. That's that. So let me just this real quick. Okay. Let's see. Another instance where you need to respond to a notice of intent to deny will be where you have no additional evidence to add. The very first one was you have new evidence to rebut the allegations. The second one we've talked about is you've been accused of being in a sham marriage, whether it's in the current one that you have a notice of intent to deny for, or in a previous marriage. You have to respond. The third one is you do not. So compared to the first instance where you have additional evidence, in the second one, you do not have additional evidence, but it comes down to, should I respond or should I withdraw? I always say stick with responding and re-emphasizing the initial or additional supplemental evidence that you've already sent in, and why what you've already submitted to USCIS is sufficient to prove that your immigration benefit that you are seeking. That will be another situation where you should respond to a notice of intent to deny. Okay. When is it advisable to withdraw and or refile a case? This applies to both family cases and employment cases. In employment situations, for instance, you're filing a national interest waiver and you have selected. So one of the things about a national interest waiver is it's a self-petition green card process where, based on your qualifications and what you intend to do that is going to benefit the United States. So listen, U.S. ain't going to give you anything that's not going to benefit them. So that's what national interest waiver. You have something that's going to benefit the United States. You file for yourself without the help of an employer, either based on the fact that you're a person of exceptional ability, or you have an advanced degree. In a situation where you file your I-140 and you choose exceptional ability and you've submitted that, and then maybe you did it yourself, or someone advised you and you chose wrongly, and you're now unable to meet any of the criteria for exceptional ability. The law is, at the time that you apply for a petition, you must be eligible for the immigration benefit you're seeking. So if you now realize that, oh, I have an advanced degree, meaning at least a master's degree, and that's what I should have chosen, if USCIS sends your notice of intent to deny and say, okay, you haven't met your burden of exceptional ability, you cannot at that point. It's worth a try, because I've done it before, because you never know the officer is going to be on your case. But for the most part, they're well trained now. You cannot now do a switcheroo and say, hey, no, I mean, what's your mistake? It wasn't exceptional ability, it's advanced degree. What's going to happen in that situation is USCIS will deny your case. If you still cannot meet the exceptional ability, because you cannot change your eligibility ground in the middle of a petition, you must have been eligible for that benefit at the time you submit it. In that kind of situation, it's best to just withdraw that I-140 and refile, because you're not going to be able to convince them otherwise if you're changing from exceptional ability to advanced degree, or vice versa. So that's an example when it comes to employment cases. When it comes to marriage cases, a good decision or a good situation to withdraw is when they say, Enyara Niger, Enyara Ghana, Enyara West Africa, Jamaica, let's call it spade a spade. When USCIS says, the divorce decree, 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, like, no. And that it's not there's nothing. The central RFE responded and said no. The central notice of intent to deny. There is no way around that divorce decree. You can certify it till Jesus comes back. If, for instance, if your divorce decree says the marriage was dissolved because somebody moved out because of abandonment, it's a statutory divorce. That's not a ground for statutory divorce. It has to be irretrievable breaking up of marriage. In a situation like that, and you still have the spouse you married who filed the I-130 for you, willing to refile if you get a new divorce from your ex-spouse, either husband or wife, and your current spouse is willing to do that for you, then that's one of the situations where it's good for you to just withdraw and refile your case. Now, a lot of people are wondering, okay, if I withdraw my case, divorce my previous spouse, and then remarry, say USCIS, or you're accepting that was a fraudulent document? No, because you're going to use their own allegations against them. They can't have it both ways. If you're telling me that I have filed something, I was not back home, I got a lawyer, quote unquote, to help me with this divorce decree, it got sent to me by DHL. You can't blame me. Unless they're able to prove that you intentionally submitted a fraudulent document initially, then the only other choice you have to be able to right the wrong that they claim is wrong with you, because if you don't have a qualified relationship, then you don't have a case. And if you're not going to accept my current divorce decree, the only other option I have is to effect a new divorce here, remarry my spouse, and start all over again. So anticipate that they're going to come back and say, well, you're not admitting. No, that's an explanation we've given several times. I've been at interviews where the officer tries to like, no, you ain't going to do that, because y'all cannot have it both ways. Because I'm even surprised that they haven't thrown me out of an interview. I'm thinking back. I'm surprised they haven't thrown me out. Well, I'm quiet for the most part in most of the interview, because a lot of those officers behave themselves. But I won't call what 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 lose religion. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 lossy hellfire, right? But anyway, I digress. So that's an explanation, a justifiable explanation for why you may want to withdraw and refile, get a new divorce, and be ready that they will come back with that. But that's okay. Now, If you live in a common law marriage state, like Texas, like Oklahoma, and you get a new divorce, you may not necessarily have to remarry your current spouse, as long as after the divorce from your previous spouse, you continue to live with your current spouse, and probably confuse everybody, as husband and wife. I think we're having the 5 states that actually recognize that. But for the most people would have to redraw and refile, get a new divorce and refile. Okay. When is another situation where it's probably advisable to withdraw your case or convert is if you're going from a regular case to a VAR case. Now you have a situation where the marriage is becoming abusive. The I-130, which is the basis of the marriage filing, is now in jeopardy. So your spouse is becoming abusive. You can, if you have an I-485 pending, you have 2 options. You can either withdraw that one that is tied to the I-130. I usually say wait until you file a VAR case before you do that, or ask them to transfer that pending I-485 to a new VAR case if you file the VAR case, or if you will be filing the VAR case within 30 days of that request. That's another example where you may decide either to withdraw or to convert, because you're now refiling a different immigration benefits, immigration petition. So it's when you get a notice of intent to deny, you should respond, but sometimes it may be best not to respond. You may be in a better position to actually withdraw and refile, depending on, let me be very clear, depending on your very specific circumstances. Everyone's case is different. So you've got to know what is best in your case. And that's all she wrote, people. There's something I just thought about now that I wanted to say. Okay. When you have an I-130, I talk to a lot of people and go, okay, I'll just withdraw that. Keep in mind, I-130 belongs to the spouse, the American citizen or green card holder spouse. Thank you, Illinois. That's the person who has the authority to withdraw an I-130. Don't be sending letter to USCIS pretending to be your spouse. Let's call it spade a spade. But you own the I-45, the I-765, I-131. Those belong to you. Okay. So I'll get to that. I'll get to your question. That's basically what I would say to do. Make sure you're not the one sending something, but no. The very first thing you want to do when you get to notice of intent to deny, please, if you don't have a lawyer on your case, please consult with a lawyer. That helps your case. That makes you know what direction to go. It doesn't mean that as a lawyer, people always ask me, can you give me an assurance that my case will be approved? I can never, hear me loud and clear, never give you an assurance that your case is going to be approved. That is the height of your responsibility as a lawyer. That is me. So if a lawyer is going to tell you, guaranteed your case is going to be approved, that is someone opening themselves up, first of all, for malpractice, for lawsuit. You cannot, even if you're in the brain of an adjudicating officer, you cannot tell someone that you guarantee their case is going to be approved. You just can't. I mean, immigration applications are filled with denials every single day. The best you can do, and the best I can do as a lawyer, is to make sure that I've done everything that God has given me power to do on your behalf, and pray and send it up with anointing oil and know that it shall be well. That's all, but to guarantee, no. I wish I could, but we just can't. But so if you need to respond or tackle a notice of intent to deny, be sure to have a lawyer. And now at this last point, if you get a notice of intent to deny based on an I-130 that your spouse filed on your behalf, right? Usually, and most of the time, 99.9% of the time, it has to do with the good faith of the marriage. That notice of intent to deny will be addressed to your American or citizen or green card holder spouse, and not you, because good faith is attached to an I-130. Now, you may get an I-485 interview notice telling you to come to an interview, but good faith is attached to I-130. If you're getting notice of intent to deny and yours is addressed to your spouse and the marriage is no longer functioning, meaning it has become miserable, it has become abusive marriage, you're able to still request USCIS and to ask them to transfer and bifurcate your I-485, meaning separate it from your I-130, and now transfer your own green card application to your VA petition. Then the question is, so what happens to the notice of intent to deny? Well, that no longer is your business. Long story short. I consulted with someone today, goes, the second time, and he goes, I always come back. So he's just trying to get the funds and understand what he wants to know and get what he needs to do and all that. He goes, but the one thing I like about you, you're so direct and you just give it to me as it is. And I'm like, well, sometimes it comes out just very direct, but I'd rather you know and just say it. No, I go, my kid, my oldest kid, my 18-year-old, can't believe my kid is going to college. I thank God. He wrote an essay, and he wrote an essay about his family. And it was an interesting piece about me, but I couldn't find the lie in what the kid wrote. One of the things he wrote is that my mom is very direct and she does not sugarcoat anything. These kids are listening. They're like, okay. I don't sugarcoat anything. So it's not sometimes it could be abrasive, but it's not being abrasive. It's just being direct, because I'd rather someone tell me straight up, what is it that I'm looking at? Does this mean? So I say that to say this, the I-130 and what happens to it is none of your business, because it no longer is your business. That belongs to your, abusive spouse. For the most part, if the response is not received by USCIS during the time frame, then the I-130 will be denied. It will have no effect on your VA case. It will have no, as long as you have requested them to separate your I-485 and give it to and put it on your VA case, then you're good to go. And you may be wondering, okay, if it gets denied, how can I still retain the priority date from the I-130? Yes, you can. The law is very straightforward. If you were the beneficiary of that I-130, it doesn't matter whether it's been denied, revoked, withdrawn, approved. As long as you were the beneficiary of the I-130, you still have the right to have that priority date transferred to your VAWA case. And that's all she wrote. Okay, let me breathe now because I talk real fast. Check the man got to man so half the time. Please help me out, somebody. Tell me something. Check man got to man so half the time. Because I think I have rushed speed as a speech. Okay, let's go to questions. I think my glasses is dirty, but hey, who is looking? I can still see through it. Alrighty. Miss Smith, yes, 10-ish Eastern Standard Time, but yeah, it's supposed to be 9-ish Alabama time, but I made it to them, and I was like, it was 9:07. I'm getting close. The day's gonna come when 9 on the dot I'm here. You'll see. Just keep praying. Hello, Mr. Taryn. How are you? How was your weekend? I had your file with me today. It's like everywhere I go, I had your file follows me. Like, oh Lord. Oh, the link in. So it is. How do I? Okay, let me put it here. If you are on YouTube and Facebook, and you want to go on my personal page on, let me see, where's Pichelli's on the score on the computer? Okay. All right, here we go. So this is, I'm going to put it on the screen now if you're on Facebook and YouTube. So that's my at Abisola _ Cecilia. Is my mom here? because I'm still waiting for these people, people, meaning my parents, that named me almost 45 years ago, Abisola. Because I get up each day to go work. I don't see where the Ola is. Because Abisola means a child born in wealth. Ah, talk about being in wealth. Why is the person working? Shut up, like, why am I working? See, Obabiyan's wealth. You follow? They didn't stop there. See, if they gave me one name that has wealth, right? Illinois, I mean, I can understand all the names they give me. Well, I have an Yoruba name because y'all, hello, finest Shandy, my Yoruba name, because my dad, that's why my Yoruba is funny. My paternal grandfather was a 100% Delta man, Yoruba man, like no mix with, well, or close enough. But my Yoruba name is 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Y'all, I'm surprised you gave it. I'm telling you. But listen, that's by the wayside. But one, a child born in wealth. Well, I know Dangote still, but I mean, what does his name mean? Does his name mean money? My name literally means I was born into wealth. Yeah, Banky, that's my mom. Finance Shandy, listen. I'm working my ass off. Excuse my French. They didn't stop at my first name. They added 2 more names that has wealth in it. My middle name is Adebola. Where's it? Like, Adebola means what? You came into wealth, right? Yeah. And then they went a step further. Afolake, where is the wealth? Because working has changed my hair from black to gray. Yeah, Banky, that's what I'll come my mom. Please answer. That question is for you. My dad has passed on, so he's probably laughing in heaven like, haha, I need to know where the wealth is. My mom, she's probably there. We need to ask her. I ain't embracing nothing, Finance Shandy. I've been asking the same darn question for years. No one has given me any answer. My dad passed away, didn't give me an answer. I need to know. No. It literally should translate to money. In my world, it does. So just believe. This time around, I'm not doing hope again. So, actually, no. Okay. Thank you, KGK. I appreciate that. You got your green card approved. Congratulations. Woohoo! Okay. That's my plan. I just love to celebrate people. So everyone says, everyone, I need to say congratulations to KGK. Congratulations. I love Miss Vale. You're probably in the world. She knows the feeling too. Hello, Miguel. How are you doing? Okay. I'm just going to say talk way. I've just become more aware that whenever a question is related to Val and you have your real name, I will not put it on the screen. If one transfers I-485 marriage-based filing to Val and the Val was approved, do you need to file another I-485 to get a green card or not? Generally, you don't. Disclaimer, these are everyone's KGK. Everyone says congratulations on TikTok and Instagram, as well as Facebook. You don't need to file a new one. That's the whole point of transferring. You just, once it's approved, notify. I always do notify the field office, especially if your case was already at the field office. Notify the field office that and sending a copy of your VAR approval. Okay, let me put this on. I received my prima facie for VAL application in January. How long do I have to wait for my work permit if I can get the green card? You can't get a green card until your VAL. That's the underlying petition has to be approved before your green card is approved. Prima facie determination has nothing to do with how long it's going to take them to send in your work authorization. One has nothing to do with the other. Okay, let's see. Hello, Vicky at Braiding Salon. How are you? Okay, let me go to TikTok. Okay. Let's see. Hello, everyone. Hello, from Pennsylvania. How are you doing? What is it? Is it still cold? Um, hey, kid, you smiling today? Because last time you were on, people were like, "What?" He wasn't having it. Look at my baby. Look at my baby. My hand is cold. Did you even say hi? That's my baby. Your mama's baby, right? My high maintenance kid. Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's my baby. When I say baby, it's my last child. TJ, everyone says hi, but he's 12. Thank you. Y'all, when my kid was when he was much younger, and I say much younger, like he was still under 4. Um, he's got, I don't know if you guys noticed, he's got the kind of eyebrows that you pay money to have. And I used to have that before I used tweezers, and I met tweezers and tweezed everything. And I have to use eyebrow pencil. But he's got those eyebrows, and I mean, so when he was much younger, people will say, "What's your name? You know, you're such a very handsome kid." In true 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 child form, my kid would tell them, "I know." Tijani, I know. Ah, no, 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 no. See, we're teaching you confidence, not arrogance. On your kid will find, yeah, mom, can you tell me something I don't know? And so we had to we had to tell him like, no, what's in so 𝒊𝒏𝒕? He goes, but I know, I know you know. I know you've got a mirror. Yeah, it's good. But when people pay you a compliment, you say thank you. I'm telling you, like yeah. The very first time he did that, when he no 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 no, but she's no, I'm on like you don't to find us American kids. I said okay, so now and then eventually he's but obviously he's 12 now, so he knows better. But I used to be like, wow, ah, this kind of children, the children of nowadays, children of nowadays, it's Tinubu declared winner. Oh Lord, have mercy. Let's keep praying for our country. I'm here in the United States with B1B to know, like to know if I can apply for a green card. You have to be eligible for a green card to apply for a green card. So you have to have a ground based on family petition, employment petition, asylum. You know, before you can apply for a green card. I'm married to a U.S. citizen. Can I submit more evidence to USCIS online account before interview? You can. Asylum is pending. Can I move to Canada? If you move to Canada, you're basically abandoning your case. Okay. Do you work with 204C cases? I do. I charge quite a bit for them because they are very, very hard and it takes a lot of research. But the only way you can overcome a 204C case, which is for a sham marriage allegation, is to fight it. If you don't fight it, then you're not going to get your green card. So there's no way around it, really. I do. How can I speak with you personally? You have to call our office 334-341-4475 and set up a paid consultation. I want to see immigration. I used to do written mandamus. I no longer do that. But if you go on 𝐸LA.org, you would find a list of immigration attorneys who do that as well. If USCIS sends a receipt number, does that mean everything is okay? Receipt number is just saying you have a pending case. It doesn't do anything. Okay. Love your gray hair. Thank you. That's what grows out of my scalp. Why am I hiding it? Hey, it is what it is. I think I lost you. Okay, I'm back on there. Okay, let's see. Can a person who's been deported 20 plus years come back to the United States? It's possible, but I don't do cases once someone has been deported. So you have to speak with a lawyer who can help you with that. Okay. I got an email from medical RFE, no interview requests, no evidence sent. Will interview be waived? Did you get an RFE for the medical, meaning to send it in, or did you get a deficiency notice for the medical? There's a difference. Okay. Can I divorce and apply for VA? If you apply for VA after a divorce, keep in mind you have to be able to link that part of the abuse was part of the reason why you got a divorce, and you have to file for VA within 2 years after the divorce. Can I travel safe with VA advanced parole? Generally, you can, but I can't speak to your case. Everyone's case is different. But if the only thing you have against you is the unlawful presence and you have a valid advanced parole, then I don't see why not. But I can talk about your case. What I do with my clients is I always request that they let me know. You don't have to tell me exactly that you're leaving, but let me know when you're about to travel and let me know when you get back to the airport, because I always have my phone just in case we need to send in any documents whatsoever. Everyone, if you have the advanced parole, you should be accustomed to the secondary inspection. But that's what I do for my clients because nothing's ever guaranteed. Okay, so you were asked to submit joint documents. So, okay. And to also, so if you've sent in everything, then hopefully they're trying to now, they will probably review it. And if it gets to the point where they believe that they would waive an interview, then that's probably what would happen. Oh, I take that back. So this is someone different. So now you go to deny notice that you didn't receive it. Did you send it in to them with trackable mail? So one thing that it's standard practice for us in my firm. I don't ever send anything to USCIS that I need to have confirmation that they received it. If it's not going to be via courier service that is fast and I can track, not just track, but I always request signature confirmation. I need to know who signed for it. And that has come in handy so many times, you have no idea. So that's what I always recommend rather than just send it in regular mail. What is the difference between green card extension and advanced parole? One has nothing to do with the other. Advanced parole, you don't have a green card yet. Green card extension, you have a green card. You're just waiting for a new one that you've applied for. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's see. Thank you. Interview about a year, you're going to receive anything. Sometimes you may want to send them a demand letter and see if that works. As an LPR through VAWA, can I apply for citizenship after 3 years? Yes. Okay, let's see. Can I work online? If you're working for a U.S. company and you're in the United States, even if you're not working for a U.S. company, let's assume you're working for an international company, but you are physically present in the United States, it is still unauthorized employment if you don't have a work permit. So I hope that answers your question. Filed asylum 7 years ago. I've not heard anything. Just renewed work authorization. That's just what is going on. And unfortunately, that's what it is. Thank you, Dream Truth 07. I appreciate that. Okay, let's go to Instagram. If you're just joining us, so I created a personal Instagram page at @𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Don't even get me started on that all part of it again, because yeah, let's just leave that alone. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, no. I'm really thinking of going to Nigeria in the summer. I just don't know if with this election result, I don't have any family back home because my whole family is here. But I have a friend who is getting married for the 3rd time. Listen, Lord, marriage is not for the faint of heart. That's something because I was married for 2003, 15 years. That's a long time. So I know a thing or two, and I can tell you it's not for the faint of heart. So I just admire her strength of going through it a 3rd time. And she goes, I so let's well. I'm like, we'll see. Like, oh yeah. But I need to go to Lagos and just because I hear a lot of things, many things have changed since I left like 2 decades ago. Don't judge. Okay. To number 1, lotion. Hello, Simply Paul. How are you? Let's see. Because you got that drill this shit. That's the one thing we have to remind ourselves. There's nothing that prayer cannot. When are you talking about EB to national interest? I talk about, but the reality of the matter is, for the most part, when I do lives, many more people that come on lives are people who have family-based cases. So just like if you're going to, you have to know who your audience is. But if you go on my page, you would find posts and videos, pre-recorded videos about employment cases. Let's see. How do you attend interviews with a client out of Alabama, New York? So it would depend on if you're going to retain our services and if I'm going to be available. And sometimes I may do it in person. Sometimes I may do it virtually. Sometimes I may do it telephonically. So that's how I do interviews, attend interviews. And I should be heading to Houston this coming week. I would know by Friday, I think. So, yeah. So I'm at Houston. Mumbo, I can most likely. What happens when the divorce is from a customary law marriage in Nigeria? So there is no required close call between 2 planes at Boston airport. 5th near miss incident at the airport in 2023. I said very 2023. When? Okay. There is no requirement of any formal document in a customary divorce. I have filed cases with only affidavits from family members. But this is the caveat with that. If you go through a customary court and you get a decree from that court, know that you have to supplement that decree with affidavits that would also be filed with the court. So you can either just do straight up affidavit, because the requirement is there's the formality, there is no required document. Or if you choose to go through customary court to get a proper decree from that, you have to also have supporting affidavits for that decree. So I hope that answers your question. I attended my green card interview in July 2021. I collected the original copies of my 90 divorce. I did not hear. They collected and they did not hear back from USCIS until October 2022 with an RFE for medical. Doesn't mean I'm close. God willing. God willing, that means you are close. I'm hopeful that you are. I'm hopeful and prayerful that you are. That's a good sign. So we'll see. Stay prayerful, and I believe you should be, you know. Can a U.S. citizen who hasn't filed tax in the past 3 years file for adjustment for his immigrant spouse? So the spouse is not filing the adjustment for you. The spouse is filing an I-130 and an affidavit of support for you. Even if they haven't filed taxes, every petitioner is required, mandated to file an I-864 as part of the petition. But obviously, you are going to need a joint sponsor. If someone claimed asylum in 2017 in the state of New York, considering the fact that the claim was made 4 years after being in the United States, how long will it take having court date? Are you already in removal proceedings then? You've gone for an I-45 interview on I-130 and it's still pending. So now you have a VAWA petition. Okay, you filed a VAWA petition with so your VAWA has been approved. If you have an approved VAWA case and you did not file a new 45, notify the field office of your approval, send the copy in and ask them to transfer your 45 to your approved VAWA, and that should take care of that. I-751 is ready to be scheduled for an interview. N-400 is still pending. Is that normal field office? There's nothing abnormal about USCIS. They can schedule whatever they choose to schedule at any time. It's right there. They were speaking it into existence. Okay, I'll take that. That's your story on behalf of my parents, and you're still okay. We'll take that. Yes, so money bola, but yeah, yeah, exactly. Wealth is money, please, Biko. It is. Listen, it's not wealth of knowledge. Leave it alone. Finest Jandy. I'm not technically. Well, I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm not Ijebu, but I have Ijebu blood in me because my mom is a 100% Ijebu woman. So I'm multi-tribal, just everywhere. Just the combination is just all over the place. Like yep. So please help Miss. I emailed her. That the person actually is what the plan that the person has for them is the same plan, and I emailed her back, but I haven't heard back from them. So I guess that because they may have paid that person to take care of that situation, but I emailed them to let them know whether or not they were on the right track. But thank you for the referral. I do sincerely appreciate that. Amen. Waleoni, congratulations, KG. K, and we use your case as a point of contact to everybody else, God willing. Let's see. Is the real. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Just being real. We need more real men. And with that, you need confidence. Ṣùgbọ́n kò yẹ kí confidence yẹ. I mean, we teach our kids confidence. Walk into a room. I can't tell you how many, there's a lady that we're good friends now. But the very first time she saw me in court, because I do criminal cases as well. And when you've never met someone in your entire life, you've never said a word to them, don't know nothing about them. But for whatever reason, they just don't like you. And you're wondering, I can't wish anyone don't even know you. And she's one of the deputy sheriffs where I work. And there was a day I needed something, and I approached her. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna. And I remember when we started talking, she goes, the very first time I saw you, I just felt, who the hell does she think she is? Walking into a room like she owns the place. Y'all have to put things in perspective. I'm not a tall person. I'm a very petite woman. And that's why God gave me a very loud and very strong voice. Because alone, he's not a wicked God. He cannot give me, because I'm over 5'1". I'm petite, like real small. But I have a very, very strong voice, as you know. And so she goes, you come into her like you own the place. I think as Africans, we are taught to, what is the word I'm looking for? To be, I think being confident is to be confident. Walk into a room and with your head up, even if you're dying inside, like you're scared, ass out of your mind, but don't let nobody know. I think it's just the way we're brought up, and so I try to do that, instill that in my kids. But some kids just take it to the extreme and tell you like, I know, thank you. Confidence with humility is really huge. So we've passed through that. We're better now. My last story until I got a whole lot. I got a lot. Can y'all believe I was the tallest? I have 3 siblings. At some point in my life, and I think that was like 30 years ago, I was the tallest in my household when it comes to my siblings and I. Like I was taller than all 3 of them combined. But now I'm the shortest. Yeah. So life happens. Be careful, because I thought I'm going to be tall. No, I don't think you see all these small people, because I have an older brother and I have 2 younger siblings. And my younger brother, he's a surgeon. We were real close. We're not close anymore. Life happens, but we were super tight. And so we always took a lot of photos together. And I used to look at him like, but now I look at him like this. How long does it take USCIS to respond to PD requests? It just depends. I've had one where they literally personally called me, the DHS attorney. And I have some that you have to call them and contact them and be on them for them to even respond to an email, let alone granted. Yeah. Epic movie. You already know why. You already know. We share the same birthday. You already know why. We just give it to you. And when people get to know me, they're like, wow, that's just very abrasive. And if you're someone who has, your ego gets hurt easy and gets bruised easy and very insecure, you probably would not like me or my personality. And people who know me will tell you, I'm not even trying to be funny, but I have a heart of gold. I would move the moon for it. But then I'm just as extreme. I tell you just the way it is. Just don't know how to do it any other way. But I'd rather people do that for me, because I'd rather know where I stand than to assume or than for you to tell me what you think I want to hear. And then I turn around and you stab me in the back, because people do that a lot. I got approved for I-485. Congratulations. How long does it take to get a green card in the mail? I don't know. Follow up on your case. Can I file VA if I have an I-130 for minor stepchild pending and separated from stepfather? With the VA affect the I-130? You can actually include your child in your VA petition and ask that they transfer the child's I-45 to your VA petition and take the child off the I-130 filed by the stepfather. Hello, Lauren family. How are you? Okay, let's see anything. Greater mid location when I arrive in Houston. Okay, I should know by Friday. And the good thing about where I live is we have a regional airport here, and actually their direct flight is straight to Houston. So I should know by Friday, and I'll let you know. Does a teenager who is included in an I-130 get a work permit and Social Security after I-130 approval? He didn't do any. No, you have to apply. You have to file an I-45 for that teenager, so that's how they would get their work permit and Social Security, because just the same way you did, God bless. So the child is included in the VA petition, but that's just the petition. There's nothing that comes off of it besides you getting the deferred action on the C-31 EAD automatically for you, the petitioner. But for your child, based on that approved I-36, they file their 45, so then they can get a work permit and Social Security number. You're welcome, IG Mama. Okay, so I think that's all. I'm skipping some because I'm running out of time. Wait, y'all confusing me. I thought you just said Tinubu was the winner. Why are we talking to Bola Ahmed? Is that Tinubu change your look? Y'all just confuse me. I'm telling you. Show that high. It's not arrogance. It's just the way. If you've got to, I mean, that's where that phrase of "fake it till you make it" comes into use. Africans, we are, and I even forgot. I didn't finish the story. So she told me, she goes, "Why do you Africans?" And she goes, specifically Nigerians, y'all think you because y'all study. She goes, y'all take education to the highest height. She goes, y'all just think that you've got to keep studying, PhD, doctor, lawyers, like. See, we don't know it any other way. So it's hard not to, if it's not a case of, oh, I'm better than you. It's never that way, but it's just the way we are raised. I didn't even know, and I don't know about you guys, I did not know that you had an option to finish high school, our secondary school, and go to work. Because this is not, looking at anyone, but for the most part, people that I knew had to work after we finished secondary school, where people really, maybe they lost a parent, and they had to fend for themselves. But it was an automatic thing. You finish primary school, you go to secondary school, you go to university, most likely go to postgraduate, you get a job. I didn't even know until I got to the United States that you can actually finish high school. First of all, I don't know, but you graduate high school and they're doing a graduation party for you. Because when I graduated high school, secondary school, you're not. What have you accomplished by getting a high school diploma? Because you need to get the A's and B's so you can get it into a good university. But when I came to the United States and I saw that high school graduation is a big deal, I'm like, I'll be damned. Oh, and then you can take time off before going to college. Oh, you can? Okay. That ain't gonna happen in my household though. That's just me. Because yeah. If a U.S. parent petition for an adult child whose U.S. visa expires soon, is it advisable for her to reapply, or for a visiting visa before petitioner? okay to reapply after petition is filed. Apply before you file the petition. Talking about visitor visa in Nigeria, I think as of beginning March 1st, tomorrow, beginning March 1st, visitor visa is going to be, rather than, I think 2 years has been the maximum multiple entry, it's not going to be for 5 years. So if you get a visitor visa in Nigeria, you're going to be getting it for 5 years. So I think that it becomes effective tomorrow. When am I coming to Tampa? I'll let you know. I think this year I'm going to be doing a little bit of traveling, God willing. I don't know. I'll let you guys know on Friday. It's going to be tight because I have court the next. I'll let you guys know as far as Houston is concerned on Friday. Okay. Oh. Well, I mentioned 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. That's his name. You can tell that I really care. Yeah. I know him as Bola Tinubu, but I don't think I've ever taken note of the middle name. Oh, now they do graduation back home. You're even an university graduation, where you're doing NYC. I mean, what have you accomplished with high school? You can get with high school diploma, you can get you go into a vocational skilled job here and get the training. And listen, I called in my the house, my previous house, I called a plumber. For the plumber to come out, to even just come out to tell me what was wrong with my faucet, it was $125 an hour. So don't get me wrong, there are people who make good money when you go into vocational what's it called, fields, but there's some of us who were raised that the more degrees you have, the more Nigerian you are, and the more bragging rights your parents have. Because let's call it spade a spade. Our parents really love to brag, like Dr. Lomomi, engineer, you know. Sometimes you wonder, like, is it for you or for them? But that's the African culture, and you've got to love it and embrace it. It's not like we're arrogant. It's just the way we are as a people, and I think that allows us to thrive in any situation we find ourselves. As someone once told me that there's a joke that goes around that if you're relocating to a country and you don't find a Nigerian there, then that's not a country for you to stay as an immigrant because we will go wherever and we will make it work. Can I travel abroad with I-551 stamp because the officer collected my expired card? As long as it's the date on it is valid, you should be fine. I can't talk about your case, but that is just the general information that I can give you. Val was approved since July last year. Congratulations. Still waiting for my green card. What should I do? Contact them and see if you write them and see if you have a lawyer, have the lawyer contact them on your behalf. All these earrings that I have on my ear. It's coming off. Okay. All right. Okay, people. So as always, we will keep staying prayerful and hopeful and knowing that God remains in control. As we start this new month in March, we're going to march forward into victory, into abundance, into joy, into favor, into blessings upon blessings upon blessings, into amazement, into wonders of God, that we would look back and say, if it had not been the hand of mercy, if it had not been the hand of grace, God will show up for us. You would march into your blessings. You will march into your destinies. We will have a wonderful new month, and we will keep marching into greatness. That which the devil thought he had taken from us, God will replenish, and he would restore in multiple folds. And as we celebrate with others each and every time we gather, because I love to do this, like, because it's a positive gathering for us. We come together as immigrants, we share stories, we share victories, we share defeats, but we're not defeated. It's one thing to have defeat, but it's another thing to feel defeated. As long as you're not defeated, you gotta keep going. And each and every time we will keep marching forward, because we would get to that destination. Nothing is going to derail us. We may have detours along the way, we may have distractions along the way, but as long as God orders our steps, we must get to the finish line, and so shall it be. So this month we're marching into greatness, we're marching into favor, we're marching into excellence, we're marching into great health, we're marching into victory, God willing. And I'll see you guys next time.